Pre-algebra lesson 3. And I started the video off at a blurry focus. That's good enough. Alright, I'm going to be doing most of this work on paper anyway. We're at lesson 3, subtraction, and then addition and subtraction patterns. First, I'm going to talk about the subtraction patterns. There are a lot of great words here that we do need to memorize, like subtrahend, minuend, difference, knowing that addition and subtraction are inverse operations. If you go back to lesson 1, they also have the key words addend, addend, and then sum when they were talking about addition. Those are great key words that you do need to memorize, but we're not going to spend time on that in class. But make sure you do memorize those words and you know what they mean. The key ones being difference and sum. Sum is the answer to an addition problem, difference the answer to a subtraction problem. But now that we've got that out of the way, let's focus on the patterns, right? And the patterns that we need to focus on in addition and subtraction, as I refocus my camera. Right, eventually, hopefully by like lesson 10 or 15, I'll stop talking about focusing the camera because I'll get better at it. But the patterns we're looking at are which number is the whole and which numbers are the parts. And the addition pattern is that you add a part to another part to equal the whole. All right, so part plus part equals whole. The subtraction pattern is that whole minus part equals part. Okay. The reason why these patterns are important, I'm going to zoom in even closer because that's how important they are. They're super important. If you can understand part, whole for addition and subtraction, and if I can understand how to properly focus my camera. So if we can understand part, whole, and whole minus part equals part, if we can understand that part or that pattern when it comes to addition and subtraction, that will help us find missing numbers in these processes. So what I mean by missing numbers is I mean examples like this. And when you come up to problems like this, I want you to identify the whole. If we look at a traditional addition or subtraction problem like this one, where none of the numbers are missing, it's a normal arithmetic problem, not a pre-algebra problem. We can see the whole is the largest number on the bottom. So we have part plus part equals the whole number, or the largest part on the bottom. And then if we look at the subtraction norm here, whoops, let's see if I can zoom in on this without messing anything up. If we look at, nope, did I go in the wrong direction? I did. There we go. If we look at this one right here, we see the tallest number, or the largest number on top is the whole. So we have the whole minus a part equals the other part, right? And then with addition and subtraction being inverse operations, you should have learned how to check your answer. You can add the two parts together to get the whole again on top. So that's what I mean when I use this sequence of part, whole, or whole minus part equals part. Right? And we're going to use that sequence to help us find these missing answers to do the inverse operations. So one of the first things that I think you should do when you're trying to solve these is identify which is the whole and which is the part and figure out what it is you're looking for. So if I want to find the whole in a number, I have to add both the parts. If I have to find a part, I need to subtract one part from the whole. So let's look at this first one. I'm trying to find this missing number here. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to label these. The biggest number is always the whole, and since it's an addition problem, I know the whole number is going to be on the bottom. So I'm going to put W there. That's the whole number. That makes this a part. Now, if I'm trying to find the letter A, which is also a part, how do I find the part of a number? Well, I need to subtract to find a part, right? So if I need to find a part, I have to subtract. So I take the other part, subtract it from the whole, and then I'm going to carry. 12 minus 3 is 9. 0 minus 6 doesn't work, so then I borrow again or regroup. 19 minus 6 gives me, or sorry, not 19, that's a 10. Can't read my own writing. 10 minus 6 gives me 4, and then 8 minus 5 gives me 3, 349. Let's see if that is correct. And it is. We have solved it correctly. So the other part is 349. And when I write my answer, I want you to write 349 equals A. That'll get us some good practice for our algebra skills that we're going to start developing at the end of the year. So A is equal to 349. All right, next, I've got a subtraction problem. Dun, dun, dun. All right, now, the question is, where is the whole? I must remember, in a subtraction problem, the whole is always up top. So maybe I'll start writing the whole in a different number or in a different color, and then I'll put the parts in a different color. So here, the whole is up top, the parts are down below, and I am missing the whole. So if I need to find the whole, I'm going to use good old addition. So I'm going to add part plus part, that will equal whole. So what I can do is I can draw a line here, I can turn that to a plus sign, and then I can add these up. So 4 and 6 makes 10, carry the 1, 6 and 1 is 7, 7 and 7 is 14, carry the 1, or regroup the 1, and 3 and 3 plus 1 is 7. So that gives me a whole number of 740, which is the correct answer. All right. So I've figured out the whole. Now let's go to the last one. This is another subtraction problem, but this time I can see the whole is given to me, and what I'm missing is one of my parts. So again, if I need to find a part, I have to subtract again. So will you always use the opposite action? No, you have to understand the concept of part, part, whole. So since the part is missing, then I'm going to subtract the other part from the whole. So I'll go ahead and rewrite this. I'm going to have 741 minus 372. We're going to have to do some regrouping. Turn that 440 into 30, carry the other 10 over, 11 minus 2 is 9. Regroup again, that's 700 turns into 600. I carry the other 100 over to make 130. 130 minus 70, or 13 minus 7, gives me 6. And then 600 minus 300 is 369 for the final answer, and that is the part. So again, house cleaning note, this one should have been 740 equals M, and this should be 369 equals F, all right, because that's the missing letter that we're looking for. All right, if you have any questions, let me know on the school website, and I will see you in the next video.